Good morning, Math 1 students. Happy Monday, April 20th. We're going into geometry today. So just to let you guys know that we finished the Algebra 1 part of our class and we're moving on to geometry. And then this is where you're going to start off in Math 2. Okay? Guys, since it's Monday, make sure you guys post your good things. On the wall, I really want to hear about all the positive things that are happening in your lives, okay? Whether for your family or yourself or with your friends or whatever. Please share some positives, okay? And it doesn't have to be big things, even little things like, you had breakfast this morning, or you got to call your friend, or you texted with your sister, or anything like that, all right? Let's celebrate the little things. Okay, so another big week. Remember, we have Alex assignments. They're just 5 questions each. Should not take you that long. Today's might take a little bit longer because, as you'll see, there's a little bit more math involved in this week's lesson. You have one Monday and through Thursday, so they're all due by 3 p.m. You have a challenge question due by 3 p.m. on Wednesday. It's on Google Classroom. There are 4 Alex topics due by Friday at 3 p.m. And then there's the Geometry A quiz on Friday by 3 p.m. Okay? So make sure you guys get going on this. The 4 Alex topics, please don't wait till Thursday or Friday to do this. Do one every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then you'll be ready for your quiz on Friday, okay? All right, so what we're working on today is something called distance, the distance formula. Let's say, for example, we have a point right here. We'll call this A, and that would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's say we have another point right here, point B. This is 0, -2. So my question is, what is the distance here? Like, how far is A from B, or how far is B from A? So this is easy, right? You could just easily count and see that, okay, I just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you know that the distance here equals 6 units. Now that's easy if it's on the y-axis or the x-axis, right? The problems we're going to deal with this in this section, they're not going to be as easy as this. We're going to be using something called the distance formula, and Alex will walk you through this. It's d equals the square root of, don't be intimidated by this, x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 quantity squared, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to decide which one is your x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. Okay, so think of this as point 1, and then this as point 2. Okay, so you're just going to substitute the numbers. So x sub 2 is 0, and you guys can guess what the d stands for. The d stands for distance, right? So this would be 0 minus 0, quantity squared, plus -2 minus 4, quantity squared. Okay, so we simplify it. So this is where GMA or PEMDAS come into play, right? So we're going to do inside the parentheses first. You guys know 0 minus 0 is just 0 squared. -2 minus 4, right? If I could do this with my fingers, you have -2 down, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So it'd be -6. 0 squared, right? 0 times 0 is just 0. Plus -6 times -6. Now remember that. And a negative times a negative comes out to a positive. So it would be 36. 0 plus 36 comes out to 36. And then do you guys remember the square root of 36? So what, basically you're asking yourself, what times itself equals 36. Okay? This would just be 6. So notice how this answer is the same as this answer right here. So this is an easy version, but I want to just review with you the distance formula. Okay? The way that Alex does it, okay, it's written like this. You have to have 2 points. You have to have a point 1 and a point 2, okay? You may also see this written as x sub 1 minus x sub 2 squared plus y sub 1 minus y sub 2. Now compare these two. Can you see the difference? However, these are always going to be these are the same, okay? You'll get the same answer. Even if you switch these points, you can. Okay? Now, what is not the same, if you did this, and let's see if you notice a difference here. X sub 1 minus x sub 2 squared plus, excuse me, y sub 2 minus y sub 1. Okay, this is wrong. This makes me sad. Do you see how this is different from the previous two right here? Okay. These two get happy faces. This one doesn't. Notice you switch the order. If you're going to start with x sub 1, like you did here, you have to start with y sub 1 over here. If you start with x sub 2 here, you have to start with y sub 2 here. You cannot switch these two, x sub 1 and then y sub 2. Okay, that's a no-no. So let's give this a shot. So let's say we want to find 2 points. Let's we want to find negative 8 comma 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Negative comma 2. So this is negative 8 comma 2. And we want negative 3, 6. Negative 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Negative 3, 6. Right, so let's say we're looking for these 2 points here. So what we could say that point 1, it doesn't matter whichever one you want to make 1 or 2, okay? So say point 1 is going to be negative 8 comma 2. And then point 2. Please don't try to do this in your head. I know a lot of you like to do Alex topics in your head, but write it out on a sheet of paper, please. It's going to be so much easier. Okay? What we're looking for is we're looking for this distance right here. Okay? You can't just count the units like we did in the previous example. Notice in the previous example here, these points were easy because they're just going straight down or up or down. Same thing if we did it on the horizontal axis, the x-axis is just going left and right. But this time it's diagonal. So we're going to label one of these as x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. Okay, I'm going to use my distance formula. I'm going to use x sub 1 minus x sub 2 squared plus y sub 1 minus y sub 2 squared. Okay. I'm just going to plug in my values. Class, what does a D stand for again? Yep, stands for distance. So x sub 1 is negative 8 minus, now the form is already minus, and that's a negative right there, so it's minus a minus 3 squared plus a 2 minus a 6. Okay? So we just substituted the values. Hopefully you guys can see that this value came here, this value came here, this value came here, and then this value right there. So now let's follow PEMDAS. Remember, a negative and a negative, that becomes a plus, right? So it's really negative 8 plus 3 squared plus 2 minus 6 squared. Negative 8 plus 3, which is more? The 8 is more. How much more? It's 5 more, so it's negative 5 squared. 2 minus 6. Class, is that 4? Nope, it's not 4. It's negative 4. Okay, remember negatives, positive, completely different answers. So negative 5 squared. So negative 5 times negative 5. Think about that, right? A negative times a negative gives you a positive. A negative 4 times a negative 4 gives you a positive 16. So this comes out to 41. Okay? So now here you cannot simplify this anymore. Okay, if you could, do you guys remember when we did the tree? Right? What two numbers are going to give you 41? Really, it's just 1 and 41. So it's not going to break down anymore. So this is, we're going to leave it like this, and this is what we call an exact answer. Okay? I'll show you another example where it's not an exact answer. All right, so the distance right here, this equals the square root of 41. Okay, let's do one more example. Thanks, guys. I miss you all. Hope you're well. All right, next point. Let's try 3, 0. 1, 2, 3, 0. It's 3, comma 0. And negative 4, negative 8. Negative 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Negative 8. Ooh, that's far away. Negative 4. Okay. So we're looking at this right here. We want to find this distance. Okay. So which one do you want to make your point 1? Which one do you want to make your point 2? It does not matter. I'm just going to make point 1 as being 3, comma 0, and point 2 as being negative 4, negative 8. Okay. So my distance formula, hopefully you have it memorized by now. X sub 1 minus x sub 2. I guess you don't have to have it memorized because you could always refer back to your notes or this video. Okay. So that equals, I want to just make sure I label. This helps me writing it out like this. Again, do not do this in your head. Okay? Write it out. So we have 3 minus a negative 4 squared plus a 0 minus a negative 8 squared. See the minus minus, that becomes a plus an 8. Okay. 7 squared plus 8 squared. 7 squared is 49 plus 64. That comes out to 113. Now this would be what we call, right, an exact answer. And then what if we don't want an exact answer? Say we want like in a decimal form. So if we plug this into our calculator, we get something like 10.6301 ... What if I told you to round to the hundreds, right? We worked on this earlier this year. Hundredths would be this right here. This is the tenths, this is the hundredths. So remember, we look at the number behind it. And you remember our little song? 5 or more raise the score, 4 or less, you just let it rest. Okay? So our answer came out to 10.63. And that would be our decimal answer. All right, tomorrow for our video, I'll make you a video using the Alex examples, but hopefully this gets you started on these topics, okay? See you guys later. Bye.